out there. Spread a little aloha around the world. At breakfast with Bob.
Thank you, Poncho Man. Welcome, everybody, back to Breakfast with Bob, our Nice World Championship edition. My name is Bob Babbitt. We are brought to you by HOKA Fly Human Fly, Master Spas, Precision Fuel and Hydration, Deboer Wetsuits, Outrigger Kona Resort and Spa, Stay Longer, Save More, and of course, our Challenge Athletes Foundation. Our next guest, Mr. Jonas Hoffmann, who is from Germany, 28 years old, and has had a great season. How are you doing, Jonas?
Yeah, hi Bob. I'm fine. I'm looking forward to the World Championship next week.
Well, you should be coming off of fifth place at Frankfurt with a 2:39 marathon and a 7:35. And then earlier in the year, you ran another 2:39 at Ironman South Africa. You're having a really good season. Talk a little bit about just what have you done anything differently this year to train for this season?
Yeah, I think it's the first season where I'm focusing full-time on triathlon. The season before, I focused on triathlon full-time since April. And this season is the first full winter of fully focused triathlon training without having a normal office job beside. So I think now I feel the difference, that I can collect more miles on the bike, yes, also during the winter. And yeah, so I think this is the most effective thing that I have more time for training.
I love it. And so growing up, were you a swimmer? Were you a runner? What was your athletic background?
I was a runner. I was a runner before.
Okay, and what did you specialize in?
Yeah, I specialized in cross-country running and also 10 kilometer on the road. So 10 kilometer on the road was my strongest discipline, I think, in running.
What was your PR for 10K on the road?
29:26.
Now, did you decide early on not to go into the whole ITU and chasing the Olympics? Was that something that you decided I'd rather go with the longer distance?
Yeah, I think it was also because as a runner, I struggled a bit with swimming. Yeah. And the swim level is just so intense in short distance. And yeah, it was for me tough to be in the first group. I did a little bit of sprint distance in the German Bundesliga. We have a very strong division there. And then later on, I focused on middle distance and then going directly to the Ironman distance.
Yeah, I'm looking at like 2021. You were eighth at Challenge Peguera Mallorca. So, I mean, was that your first season, 2021?
Yeah, it was, I think, 2020. I wanted to do my first middle distance races, but there was the COVID time, and that was a little bit difficult. So I started really with professional middle distance racing in 2021.
Yeah, and then you got an opportunity to ride the Nice course, the 70.3 Nice. You got 17th there. What was your impressions? That's a challenging and different type of bike course.
Yeah, it's a very challenging and different type of bike course. But yeah, I'm a lighter guy, a lighter athlete, so I like the climbing, and also descent is very nice. And in my opinion, the course of the full Ironman is just more spectacular than the 70.3 course, because there's a plateau on the Ironman course, and I think the plateau is a very beautiful course.
Well, and what's great about that course, besides 8,000 feet of climbing, and you've got so many sheer descents. Do you like that? Those are scary downhills.
Yeah, I like that, and I was at a training camp 2 times this year in Nice. Yeah. So together with my team colleague Dominic Sevilla, we went 2 times to Nice to train on the course. So I would say, we are very good in the descent now.
It's scary though when you first start out, but it's also a lot of fun.
Yeah, a lot of fun.
Very cool. So then you start, when I look at 2022, you had a lot of really good races. You got 6th place in Lanzarote 70.3 and Crouch Cow and Walsee. It's Walsee, but then you got a 2nd at Dresden, That was a pretty solid season. So when did you decide to go full time? Was it this year? And what were you working for? Were you working a regular job?
Yeah, I had a regular job. I worked in the office in the purchasing department. And then, after the Ironman World Championships in Nice 2 years ago, I decided to go for the full-time triathlon.
Well, because you raced there twice that year. You got third at the full in 2023, running a 2:46 marathon off the bike. That's very impressive. And then 13th at 70.3 Worlds, and then the World Championships 20th. But you've shown you can handle that course, and you've raced it enough to know what you need to do. What have you been focusing on this year, knowing that the World Championships are going to be back in Nice, and you've done that race a lot. You've been on that course a lot. Yeah,
I focus definitely on the bike training. A lot of miles on the bike, not so much intensity, but very solid bike miles. Because I think the course in Nice is also a little bit longer because of the elevation. We need 4.5 hours, more or less. So half an hour longer than on a fast course. So I think it's a good idea to spend a lot of time on the bike and also riding a lot of hills. So for example, tomorrow is my last longer bike ride, and I try to ride a large mountain here, a big mountain in front of my house, 4 times up this mountain. So I have more than 3,000 meters of elevation tomorrow in the last training session.
Wow. That's yeah. So this year, got 4th at Ironman South Africa, and like I said, 2:39 marathon. That's actually then going back a step, 2024, you were at 2:34 at Frankfurt. That's cooking, and get 6th. When you go 50 minutes in a swim, 4:07 for the bike, 2:34, 7:37, and get 6th. That shows you how deep that field is.
Yeah. I think Frankfurt the last 2 years was a very deep field.
Yes.
And especially this year, my 5th place there behind the Norwegians and Christian Hogenhaug. It was a very great race for me.
Phenomenal.
Was for sure my best race so far, and was a very good test for the Ironman World Championship.
No question. I mean, what you did at Frankfurt this year, I mean, I thought 7:37 was good. You go 7:35 this year. And and again, a 2:39 marathon off of, you went 4:07 to bike last year. This year, you went 5 minutes faster. So, a harder bike. And, so you're going to lose a little time on the run, but not that much.
For me, this year, the Frankfurt race was much better than last year. Last year was also good, but this year the conditions were tougher. We had hotter temperatures, and so the run was more difficult. And I made a big step on the bike compared to last year.
Yes.
And so I was in the pack together with Christian, Gustav, Magnus on the bike until kilometer 150. And so it was for me a big step forward to see that I can ride with them together.
Well, that's a lot of, when you're able to look around and see the biggest names in the sport and you're with them, that has to give you a lot of confidence. Yeah,
and I tried to close the gap on the run. I think on the first half of the marathon, I was the fastest runner on course, and I was closing the gap to Gustav, and also on the first 10 kilometers, I was closing a little bit on Christian.
Yeah.
But after the half marathon mark, I was a little bit cooked, and I decided to save the 5th place.
What's great about that is you're not afraid to go with it and be off the front and be with the biggest names in the sport, because you have the talent to stay with those guys. Have you surprised yourself? You are racing with the best guys in the world, and it's not like you're going to races where there's nobody there. You're going to races with the best guys in the world, and you're getting 5th and 6th place. Even last year, when I look at Kona, obviously you get 16th, but that's you're still sub 8, which would have won not that many years ago. You still ran a 2:45 marathon, which is always, you're running the 2:40s there. Was that was your first time in Kona racing?
Yeah, first time in Kona last year. Yeah.
What were your impressions of that race?
Yeah, it's a beautiful race. I would say the whole experience with the whole trip to Kona is very special.
Yes.
And I would love to be back next year.
Yes.
But in my opinion, only on race day, I prefer Nice because the course in Nice is very special.
Yes.
But the whole experience with the race week and the days in the race week, I prefer Kona because it's such a special atmosphere with all the athletes in town. It's a small town and you see each other the whole week.
Yeah.
And so it was very special to be on Big Island and to race Kona last year.
Well, and then just all the history that's there. And if you think about all the great German athletes from Ferris to Norman and obviously Jan and Patrick. I mean, what was it? When Sebastian won in 2013, I think German won 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, and 19 between Jan and Sebastian and Patrick. That's called domination.
Yes, for sure.
Now, when you grew up, did you know of those guys? Who were the athletes you looked up to as you grew up?
Yeah, I think first I looked up to Andy Raylard.
Yes.
Andy Raylard, and he was, I don't know, 4 or 5 times or 6
Second
times
place
on the podium on Hawaii.
Yeah.
Was very special, was a great athlete. And then, later for sure, Jan Frodeno and also Sebastian Kienle,
You guys got such great history there. And you're only 28 years old. You've only been in this sport for not that many years. What are your ultimate goals? What would you like to accomplish in this sport?
Yeah, I want to compete with the best. I think now I'm competing with the best, but I want to, for sure, try to be, very, very in the front of the race, and maybe try to win the World Championships someday.
Yes.
I think maybe this year it's still a little
early for you.
Little early, you could say, but the top 10 finish this year is my goal.
Yeah, and that's certainly not out of line. Top 5 isn't out of line. You never know what happens on race day. People come, and you're not coming out of nowhere. When you're riding, you're swimming sub 50, you're riding 4 hours, and you're running sub 240. Those are the splits that will get you on the podium at some point in your career.
Yeah, could be. I hope so. And I would say this year we have a very strong field, also like last year. And for sure there are more than 30 athletes who could finish top 5. And that makes it a very interesting race.
Very interesting. Now, do you train? Are you a guy who trains on his own? Do you train with a group?
I train a lot on my own at home. But then we do together with my team colleague, Dominik Sovea, we do a lot of training camps together. With also our coach, Jörg Scheiderbauer. We train in camps together or also sometimes on the weekends. So I train at home a lot alone and then meet with other athletes.
And being able, sometimes when people leave a job and go and train full time, they find themselves sort of procrastinating and not getting the workout in because they've got lots of time to do it in. But you seem like the type of guy that you've made use of this extra time. The fact that you're not having to worry about, this is your job, this is your profession. You can focus on this full time.
Yeah, I can focus on this full time now. And it's, a big difference compared to, training besides work.
Yes. And also recovery. The fact that you get more time to get, the recovery you need from the workouts. Because when you do a workout like tomorrow, you're gonna need some recovery from that. When do you head over to Nice?
I head over to Nice on the weekend. On Saturday we drive because it's not too far away by car for us. We drive to Nice on Saturday, and also this is a big difference compared to having a normal job. Besides the triathlon. So now I can go to the World Championships 1 week earlier. And I can remember 2 years ago
Yeah.
I just was able to go to the World Championship on Thursday before the race because I had not so much holidays anymore.
So so when you came 20th in 2023, you basically got there a couple days before the race. Basically, you're scrambling to get all your stuff together, get your bike, all that, get everything all set up.
I raced 2 weeks before the World Championships 2 years ago. I raced in Lahti, the 70.3 World Championship, and then I had to go back in the office between the 2 World Championships.
So you went to one World Championship in Finland, went back to work, then went to another World Championship.
Yes.
Hard to focus and get the time, especially when you're competing with Christian and Gustav and guys who are doing this full time and you're trying to do it part time. It's very difficult.
Yeah, it's very difficult. I think nowadays we have such a high level, and when you not focus 100% on triathlon, it's hard to get to the front.
I love it. Jonas, what a pleasure it is to get to meet you. I look forward to watching you race on September 14th. You're a young man who isn't afraid to be in that lead group. I think you're going to have a great race.
Thanks, Bob. It was a pleasure to talk with you.
Pleasure. Pleasure is all mine, Jonas. Jonas Hoffmann has been our guest. Thanks, everybody, for tuning in. We'll catch you next time. See ya.